Okay, so welcome back, my dear friend. Let me introduce myself, Sanjay Singh. And today, what we are going to discuss is class 8th standard. 8th standard CBSE. We are going to discuss today about inverse proportion. Inverse proportion or indirect proportion. Indirect proportion. So this particular topic has come from the chapter 13, and that is direct and indirect proportion. Direct and indirect proportion. So in my last class, we already had a discussion on direct proportion. So we have already discussed on direct proportion. So in direct proportion, what was the funda behind? What was the formula behind? That x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. This was the funda behind indirect proportion. Okay, so you can say that two quantities are varying directly when there is a relation between them, like x by y is equal to k. This relationship, when it is being followed, it will be direct proportion. And we solved exercise 13.1 completely related to this particular direct proportion questions. Okay, we have already solved. Now, today we are going to discuss indirect proportion, and in this we will be solving questions related to exercise 13.2. So now, what actually is indirect proportion? That we need to understand. In direct proportion, we said, in direct proportion what we said? We said that if one quantity is increasing, other quantity is also increasing. If one quantity is increasing, other quantity is also increasing. Like suppose, if we are going for cultivation of land, so if more area will be cultivated, more crop can be harvested. More crop can be harvested. Similarly, if we increase the speed of the vehicle, more distance will be covered. So one side you are increasing the speed, another side you are increasing the distance also. So that type of variation where both the quantity increase, when increase takes place in both. And both, if you are going for decrease, then both the quantity will be decreasing simultaneously. Then that will be called as direct proportion. But in indirect proportion, if we are increasing one quantity, other quantity will get decreased. Other quantity will be decreasing. So in indirect proportion, always there will be an indirect inverse relation. Inverse relation means if one is increasing, other one is decreasing. Okay. So here the relation is inverse. Means if one increases, other quantity decreases. The other quantity decreases. Okay. So in this, Just like what we have studied earlier, we studied multiplicative inverse. Do we remember? We studied multiplicative inverse. So if there is 2, one number is there 2, then its multiplicative inverse will be, its multiplicative inverse will be 1 by 2. Its multiplicative inverse will be 1 by 2. So with multiplicative inverse, what we are finding out? So its inverse is 1 by 2. What is the inverse of 1 by 2? 2. So both of them are becoming inverse of each other. So there is a relation between them. When you are going for multiplication of one number and its multiplicative inverse, you are getting 1. You are getting 1. Okay, so similarly, when we are going for indirect relation, we can say that its definition. We can generate its definition by saying that two quantities can be said to vary, variation, whether increase will be there or decrease will be there. So that is called variation. So two quantities can be said to vary inversely if or two quantities, if I am writing x and y. There are two quantities. Let us take as two quantities x and y can be said to vary inversely if there is a relation between x and y in such a way that xy is equal to k. If there is a relation between x and y is equal to k, where k is any constant, where k is any constant. So in this, what it will be, this x will be constant by y. So if x is increasing, y is decreasing. If y is decreasing, x is increasing, or if y is increasing, x is decreasing. So there is an inverse relation. So whenever this type of relation will be there, if one quantity is increasing, another quantity is decreasing, then we can say that the quantities are varying inversely, indirectly. Okay, so for direct relation, we must have x by y is equal to k, or we can say that this can be written x equal to ky. So we are having the relation x equal to ky or xy is equal to k, and here we are having xy is equal to k. Okay, so for indirect relation, here I will write indirect relation or proportion. Proportion also we can write proportion, because we are using ratio, that's why we are saying that proportion. Okay, so x is equal to xy is equal to k. This relation will be used, and we will see now by example. As I told you that one example, if we increase the speed of the vehicle, then the time taken to cover the distance will decrease. Suppose we want to go to Bangalore from here. Okay, if we go with less speed, time will be more. If we increase the speed, time will be less to reach the destination. Suppose in one place, if you have deployed 2 persons to do a work, those 2 persons will be taking more time to complete the work. Then with the same work, if you are deploying some 4 or 5 persons, time taken to to complete the work will be less. So this is called inverse relation. This is called inverse relation, inverse proportion or indirect proportion. So where one you are increasing, another one is decreasing. Whereas indirectly, if you are increasing one quantity, another quantity also increasing. Right? Oh, good. Let us solve questions from exercise 13.2. Based on inverse proportion, we will solve questions from exercise 13.2, that is inverse proportion. Okay. So in exercise 13.2, just see in question number 1, some of the situations are given to us. Okay, some of the situations are given to us. So we need to find out whether the situation which is given to us, it is inverse proportion or not. Okay, so first one, what it is given, the number of workers on a job and the time to complete the job. Just now I have given example. So if the number of workers on a job you are increasing, then time taken will be decreasing. Then it means first one is in inverse proportion. Okay, so it is in inverse proportion. Okay. Second one, what it is? The time taken for a journey and the distance travelled in uniform speed. Now here question is time taken for a journey, right? Suppose if we want to go from A to B, so time taken for a journey, suppose it is time t. So time taken for a journey and the distance, so distance is not increasing or decreasing. Okay, travelled in a uniform speed, travelled in a uniform speed. So speed is also not increasing. If you are not increasing speed, not decreasing speed, then there will not be any change in time. There will not be any change in time. Correct or not? See, if for going at some particular speed, the time taken for the car from A to B is suppose 3 hours. And when speed is some 50 kilometers per hour. So when I will increase this velocity V is equal to 50 km per hour to 70 km per hour, then only this time will get reduced. At that time, maybe this 3 hours will get reduced to 2 hours. If I will decrease this speed V is equal to 50 km per hour, then this time will get increased. Yes or no? So it means, but if we are not increasing or decreasing this particular speed, then this time also is not going to change. It means it is not in inverse relation. Okay, so the second situation what it is given, it is not in inverse proportion. It is not in inverse proportion. Right. Third, area of cultivated land and the crop harvested. Area of cultivated land and the crop harvested. Suppose you are having two areas A1 and bigger area A2. You have already planted crops. A1 is smaller, A2 is bigger. Okay, you have planted some crop here, and from here you are getting some 50 quintals So what we have seen, if area is more, crop harvested also will be more. If area is less, crop harvested also will be less. So in this case, what type of relation it is showing? What type of relation it is showing? Because if area is increasing, crop harvesting will increase. Area is decreasing, crop harvesting will decrease. So increase, increase, decrease, decrease relation is there. It means this relation is satisfying this criteria, direct proportion. It means this is not in inverse proportion. This is not in inverse proportion. So third one also, it is not in inverse proportion. Fourth one, the time taken for a fixed journey and the speed of the vehicle. Fixed journey is there and the speed of the vehicle. Now there is a relation between time and speed. So relation between time and speed of the vehicle for a fixed distance. Fixed journey means fixed distance. Fixed distance. As I told you earlier, if the distance between two places is A and B, and if the vehicle is moving, okay, with some velocity V is equal to 50 km per hour. When it is moving at 50 km per hour, time taken is 3 hours to cover the journey AB. Now the relation between time and speed. So if you will increase the time, so if you are increasing the time, it means you have reduced the speed. You have reduced the speed because the distance is same, distance is not changing. So if time increase has taken place, it means decrease in speed has taken place. If you increase speed, time will get decreased. So what's the relation? If one is increasing, another one is decreasing, another one is decreasing. So when increasing decreasing relation is there, then it will satisfy indirect proportion or inverse proportion. So yes, it is in inverse proportion. It is in inverse proportion. Okay, fifth one, the population of a country and the area of land per person. Population of the country. So population of a country and area of land per person. Okay, like suppose we are talking about Salem. So when you can say somewhere 50 years back or 60 years back, when the city was not very populous, less number of persons were there, less number of houses were there. Okay, between two houses, you will be finding, you would have found some 2 km, 3 km gap. Now when population has increased, what is the condition now? Even 100-meter gap we are not able to find out between two houses. Even two houses both are joined together. So if the population is increasing, area of land per person will decrease. Area of land per person will decrease. So what is the relation? Indirect relation. Okay, so inverse proportion or indirect relation, indirect proportion. So this is population and area of land per person. It is an inverse proportion. It is an inverse proportion. Okay? Right. Let us go for question number 2. So what actually the relation? Relation is if one is increasing, another one will decrease. Okay, that relation we are watching in each and every situations. Okay, in some situation it was not satisfying that criteria. In some situation it was satisfying. Okay, let us see question number 2. Okay, so question number 2, what it is given in television game show, means one show is there, the prize money of 1 lakh. Total prize money is 1 lakh. Is to be divided equally amongst the winners. Okay, complete the following table and find whether the prize money given to an individual winner is directly or inversely proportional to the number of winners. So we need to find out. Okay, so first we need to draw a table. That table consists of first number of winners and prizes for each winner. In rupees. Okay, how many winners are there? 1, 2, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 4, 5, then 8, 10, 20. 8, 10, 20. Okay, if there is one winner, complete prize money will go to him. So 1 lakh rupees. Okay. So always this sum xy is equal to k. Always multiplication. So what is x here? X is number of winner. What is y here? Prize money. Okay. Prize money is the y. So when you are multiplying both of them, you should get 1 lakh always. So in first case, 1 into 1 lakh, you got 1 lakh. Second case, when there will be when there will be 2 prize winner, prize money has got divided into 2, so 50,000. Okay, so 2 into 50,000, again it will become 1 lakh. Again it will become 1 lakh. Okay. Now to find for 4 winners, what we will be doing? So 4 into x, we do not know. 4 into x, and it should be equal to how much? 1 lakh only. It should be equal to 1 lakh. So when we are dividing this 1 lakh by 4, then what we are getting? We are getting 25,000. We will get 25,000. So it will get again 25,000. Okay. In next case, when there will be 5 winner, so 5 into x, again it will be 1 lakh, again we will divide it by 5, we will get 20,000. When it is 8 winners, okay, 1 lakh again. When we are dividing it by 8. So 8 1 8, then 20, 8 2 16, 40. Okay, so 8 5 40. So 12,500. Right. When it will be 10, again 1 lakh. So you are dividing, so 10,000. Correct? So always what you are watching that this multiplication x and y is giving you one constant value, that is 1 lakh only. Is giving you constant value always 1 lakh. So xy is equal to k. In direct proportion you are using x1 by y1, but here you will be using so x y. So it is what? x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, like this. So what means actually, if you are writing x1 by this, x2 you are writing here, then here it will become y2 by y1. Then only now x2 y2 is equal to x1 y1. Correct? So this relation will be like this. Earlier here x1 y1 was there, but here x1, here y1 is not there. Here y1 is not there, x2 is there or y2 is there. Here y2 is there. Okay, so this relation will be there. So here for 20, okay, so 20, 5,000. Right? Understood? Okay, good. Let us go to next question. Question number 3. Okay. Question number 3 is there. Again we need to make a table. So we are given in that table so a cycle wheel is there. There is a bicycle wheel. So if you are having a bicycle wheel, so from the center there will be supporting members. Supporting members will be there. Okay. So these members are called spokes. So that is what number of spokes. Okay. And this particular outer side, that is called rim. So this rim is supported on these small thin members. Right? Okay. So Rahman is making a wheel using spokes. He wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angle between any pair of consecutive spokes, any pair. So consecutive means for its this spoke, consecutive is this one or this one, not this one. For this one or this one. If you are moving towards this side, means clockwise, then this one will become its consecutive. If you are moving anti-clockwise, then this one will become consecutive. Consecutive means one after another. Like if I will say consecutive numbers, then 2 and 3, 5 and 6, 100 and 101, 99 and 100, not 89 and 99. Then both of them will not be called as consecutive numbers. Okay? Right. So he wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angles between any pair of consecutive spokes are equal. So this angle will be equal, 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 all equal angles. Help me by completing the following table. Okay, so table is given to us for 4. Okay, so in continuation to that same indirect proportion, we were discussing question number 3. Okay, in exercise 13.2. Question number 3. So what is question number 3? Rahman is making a wheel using spokes. Okay. And he wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angles between any pair of consecutive spokes are equal. So he is making a wheel. Right? This is called rim. And this particular rim is being supported with this central member with the help of spokes. With the help of spokes. Okay, so these are called spokes. So what he is doing, so between two consecutive spokes, the angle between them will be equal for all. Okay, right. So he wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angles between any pair of consecutive spokes are equal. Now we need to complete the table. The table which is given to us. So what is the table? Here we do have two rows. One is number of spokes and another one is angle between them. Between a pair of consecutive spokes. So first is given that if number of spokes are 4, then angle between them is 90 degree. Similarly, if 6 spokes are there, angle between the spokes will be 60 degree. Then we need to fill for 8, we need to fill for 10, we need to fill for 12. Okay, so this degrees we need to fill. Now for indirect proportion, we are already knowing that we are following the relation x1 by 1 is equal to x2 by 2. So if this relation is being followed, so here what we are finding? We are finding 90 into 4. When we are multiplying this, we are getting 360. When we are multiplying this, we are getting 360. Similarly, when whatever the value will come here, we will multiply it. It will also come 360 degree. Here also 360 degree. Here also 360 degree. So this particular part will be equal to 360 degree always. Now x1, suppose if number of spokes we are taking as x1 and angle we are taking as y1. Okay, so then for 8, so x1 is 8 into y1 we do not know. We need to find out. So if we are going for finding out, so 8 4 is 32 and then 40, so 8 5 is 40. It means here it is 45 degree. So this is the indirect relation. Again, so in place of x1 10 has come and y1 we do not know. Again 360 degree. This 0 0 will get cancelled. So y1 will be equal to 36 degree. So it will be 36 degree. Again when 12 spokes are there, so 12 into y1, again 360 degree. So 12, 30 degree. So here it is 30 degree. Okay, so in this way we can solve the question. Right. Now, some questions are being asked in this question. So what are the questions are there? Questions are there, are the number of spokes and the angles formed between the pair of consecutive spokes are in inverse proportion? Yes, of course it is in inverse proportion because x1 y1 is constant for all x1 y1 360 degree, x1 y1 360 degree, all constant. So it is following inverse proportion. So answer will be yes. Second is what? Calculate the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes on a wheel with 15 spokes now. So we are given 15 spokes. So the same procedure will be following. So 15 into y1 will be equal to 360 degree. Now if we are going for cancelling with 15, so 15 2s are 30, then 60, 15 4. So it will be 24 degree. So our answer will be 24 degree. Okay, third, what is the question? How many spokes would be needed if the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes is 40 degree? So angle is given to us. Now number of spokes we need to find out. Okay, so number of spokes we do not know. Means x1 we do not know. But y1 we are knowing that 40 degree will be equal to 360 degree. So 0, 0 cancelled, 4, 9. So x1 will be equal to 9. Means 9 spokes will be needed. Okay, when the angle between them will be 40 degree. Okay, gentlemen? Right. So in this way we will solve this question. Let us solve next question. So indirect proportion we all are studying. So indirect proportion we have to keep it in mind that what formula we have to apply? We have to apply that xy is equal to k. And when direct proportion will be there, x1 by y1 is equal to k. Then x by y is equal to k. That formula we have to apply. Now question number 4. What is question number 4? If a box of sweets is divided among 24 children, they will get 5 sweets each. So there is a box of sweets. Box of sweets. Okay. Now that sweets are divided among 24 children. Then each will get 5 sweets. Each will get 5 sweets. How many would each get? Each get if the number of the children is reduced by 4. So now the number of children in next step it is reduced by 4. Means 24 minus 4 is equal to 20 children now. And we need to find each will get, so this particular value we have to fill up and sweets. So how we will find? Okay, you see, so what it is? x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Right? Let's take this x2 y2, 24 into 5. So it is 24 into 5. x1 y1. So x1 is given to us as 20 children. y1 we are not knowing. We need to find out. So y1 is equal to 24 into 5 divided by 20. 5, 4, 4, 6. So y1 is equal to 6. It means each will get 6 sweets. Each will be getting 6 sweets. Okay? Right. Let us solve question number 5. Question number 5. A farmer has enough food to feed 20 animals in his cattle for 6 days. Okay. A farmer is having enough food to feed 20 animals. Okay, how many days? 6 days. So 20 animals are there, will be fed for 6 days. How long would the food last if there were 10 more animals in his cattle? So now 20 animals are there, 10 more animals will get added. Animals added. Therefore, at present number of animals will be 20 plus 10. So is equal to 30 animals. 30 animals. So how long would the food last? Means we need to find out how many days. Then 30 animals will be fed for how many days? As we solved previous question, the same way we are going to solve it now. Okay, so for here, what we got? So let us suppose x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Okay, x2 y2 20 into 6 we are putting here, 20 into 6. x1 y1, so x1 has become 30 and y1 we do not know. x2 y2 here because it is general procedure. We all are doing what? So that numerical figure we are keeping in the right hand side of the equation, and which we are going to find out whether it is x, y, z along with that variable with whatever numericals are there, that we are keeping towards left hand side. So it is general procedure. We can write here, you may say that sir, this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2, why you are writing this one x1 y1, sorry x2 y2. So no problem, this one we can write like this. If we are writing like this, 20 into 6 is equal to 30 into y1, nothing is changed. If equal to is there in between, this LHS and RHS any time can be interchanged. Any time it can be interchanged. So there will not be an issue. Okay, gentlemen? Right. So from here, y1 is equal to 20 into 6 by 30, cancel 2. So y1 is equal to 4 days. So what we have found, if less animals were there, they have been fed for 6 days, same food. If there were 30 animals, means animals have increased, naturally this food will also get decreased. So they can be fed only for 4 days. Okay, only for 4 days. So our answer will become 4 days. Okay, right. So one last question we will do. And then remaining questions will be homework for you. Okay? Right. Because you also need to practice. So question number 6 it is. What is question number 6? So a contractor estimates that 3 persons could rewire Jasminder's house in 4 days. Contractor is estimating that 3 persons could rewire. So wiring work is there. Okay. So their questions are there. So 3 persons could rewire Jasminder's house in 4 days. Okay. So 3 persons will rewire Jasminder's house in how many days? 4 days. In 4 days. If he uses 4 persons instead of 3, now 1 person will increase. So 4 persons. If there will be 4 persons, then we will go for rewinding, means he has increased the person. So naturally, once less persons was there, more number of days it was taking. When more number of persons came, this will get reduced. So our answer must come less than 4 days. That one hint we are getting. Okay, so Jasminder's house in how many days? In how many days? That only we need to find out to complete the job. So what we will be doing, again we will go for same. If it is putting x1, it is y1, it is x2, it is y2. Then what it is? x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. This is only indirect relation. Okay, so x1 is what? 3. y1 is what? 4. x2 is what? 4. y2 is what? We do not know. That only we need to find. Then we can directly write y2 is equal to 3 into 4 divided by 4. So it has gone there and we have got 3 days. 3 days. Okay, so the wiring work will be completed in how many days, gentlemen? In 3 days. In 3 days. So what we have found? We have found that questions are easy only, not tough. Just concept we have to apply. And when we apply the concept of direct proportion, what is that concept? x1 y by y1 is equal to x2 by y2 is equal to k. So this particular concept was there for direct proportion, and we solved all questions in exercise 13.1. And for indirect proportion, this one, what was the concept? x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2 is equal to k. K is a constant. So this particular concept we applied for indirect proportion, and all questions related to exercise 13.2 can be solved by using the basic concepts. Okay, so I feel my students have understood very well they have understood. Okay, and now any type of question you will be able to do it. The concept, if it is clear to you, fundamentals are clear to you, any type of question you will be able to do it. In direct proportion, there is a relation increase or decrease. Whereas in indirect proportion, there is a relation increase or decrease. Okay? So this concept you have understood? Sure. So next time, if any doubt is there, you can ask me. Remaining questions, you do as your homework. Okay? And in next class, I will be taking one small test. I will be giving you questions, but not from the textbook. Different questions will be there. Concept will be same. Okay? So by then, thank you gentlemen. Bye.